When it comes to battles in Pokemon TCG Pocket, there's quite a few differences compared to the main Pokemon TCG. 20 card decks instead of 60, a maximum of 2 cards with the same name instead of 4, 3 bench Pokemon instead of 5, 3 prize points instead of 6 prize cards, and more. But something that hadn't changed was the inability to attack on turn 1 going first, or so we thought. You see, Pocket doesn't allow the player going first on turn 1 to attach an energy from the energy zone. Or more accurately, an energy isn't generated in the energy zone on turn 1 going first. Since there's no cards with free attacks, you can't really do anything on that first turn, which is one of the reasons why going second is so much more powerful. But there is another major difference with battles in Pocket. While you can't attack or play energy on turn 1 going first, you can play a supporter. You used to be able to do this in the main TCG too, until they changed the rule in 2020 with the release of Sword and Shield. Unfortunately, this new rule in Pocket isn't all that helpful. The only supporter most normal players will use on that first turn is Professor's Research, which is just a draw 2. Yeah, supporters and items have had their effects nerfed in Pocket to accommodate the less explosive nature of battles. But what if you're like my neighbor who vacuums their lawn and you're not normal? That's where Misty comes in, completely breaking Pokemon TCG Pocket. If you're playing a water deck, 2 copies of Misty is a great idea regardless. But if you go first and start Misty in your opening hand, you can attack right away thanks to that rule allowing you to play a supporter. Misty's effect reads, choose one of your water Pokemon and flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, take a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon. So it's simple. Flip 2 or 3 heads with a strong water Pokemon in play, and you can donk your opponent who didn't bench anyone because they didn't want to risk them getting Sabrina'd up into the active. It's an absolutely insane combo when pulled off and has already resulted in numerous posts on Reddit thinking it's a bug. No, it's 100% true to the rule even if it does seem a bit wonky. Now, I know I've made it seem like Misty is this amazing combo guaranteed to make you win every single game, especially when you pair it with someone like Articuno EX or Lapras. But first off, you have to win the automatic coin flip to go first. Yeah, I'm sorry TCG Live players, we don't have to sit through the mandatory coin flip in these parts. Then, you have to start one of your 2 Misty in that 5-card opening hand or your draw for turn. And if both of those things happen, each with a 50% chance or less, then you have to rely on coin flips. I personally went 1 for my first 7 on Misty flips, and on my first 3 successful heads, I never flipped a second heads. So while it's potentially game-breaking and potentially hilarious if you flip 5 heads and get 5 energy and play like I did in one magical game, the odds of it actually happening are lower than my eyesight at the beach. And for those wondering, Misty isn't the only energy accelerating supporter in Pocket, though it is the only one that allows you to attack right away. While Brock accelerates 1 energy to Golem or Onix, Golem is a stage 2 and Onix requires 3 energy, so you'll have to wait until at least turn 3 to have Golem in play and at least turn 2 to attack with Onix. I'd also like to take a second to talk about the notion of potentially banning or nerfing cards in TCG Pocket. While the developers spoke at a recent Q&A and said they had no plans to change a card once it's been released, inside Pocket itself, there's this message. It reads, changes may be made such as adjustments to card details or bans on certain cards from being used as a result of error fixes or adjustments made to maintain a fair battle environment. Basically, while they seemed standoffish about changes during the media event, they've definitely thought about it and have the capacity to do so. Especially since TCG Pocket is a digital-only game and isn't tied to a physical card game. To quickly wrap up this video, Misty can be the most absurdly, hilariously broken card for water decks in Pocket, but if your luck is like mine, it'll only happen once every 20 games.